Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to a surprise Sunday
Surprise.
Surprise. This week there was a little bit of confusion about whether we were here today, and we are. And so that's all brilliant. We couldn't wait to be on today. If you don't know me already, my name is Polly Harnett, and I work as a spiritual medium, tarot card reader, trance medium, and healer, and animal healer and communicator.
Wow. Cool. So hi everyone, my name's Lia. I'm a psychic medium, trance medium, Reiki healer and tarot reader. Really excited to be here today. We've got an amazing topic for you, so keep watching.
And I'm Jane Morton. I'm a psychic counsellor, psychic work. I also do Rouhani healing, and I'm a holistic therapist. So welcome.
Yeah, welcome everybody today. Please, if you can, share us around, please do. That would be absolutely superb. Today, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about dreams and visions. So we'd like you to get interactive, and the aim of this show is to chat, to open us all up to new ideas, new ways, and explore different topics every single week. We're really excited about this one because we were talking about dreams before we came on today. So obviously, there's sort of a difference between dreams and visions, isn't there? And we were just chatting between ourselves, and Jane was just about to tell us a story. So what were you going to tell us? Okay.
Let's close first and we'll say hi to everyone joining us. Hi Cameron.
Hello,
Hi Cameron.
Let us know where you're watching from.
Hi
Elizabeth. Hi Hezval.
Hezval, yes.
Hi Christine.
Hi Christine.
Surprise me. Surprise.
That's what we're here for. Nice bit of a surprise on a Sunday.
I think we surprised
it was actually Mr. Producer's fault.
Yeah. Hi,
he got the wrong day.
Hi,
We're all here.
So let us know, is it snowing where you are, or is it dry?
Hi, Di.
Where you are watching from?
Oh,
hi, Di.
Look at Di's picture there. That nice sunset.
Di is saying, hi, Polly. Still amazed at my reading and trance session with you. Highly recommend to anyone and everyone.
Oh, thank you, Di.
Hi, Christine.
Christine. Are you able to make that
is it
Richard or not? It's quite small.
Christiane, I think it is Christiane.
Just
no,
about.
It's very little.
And I've got my glasses on, and if Leah's asking and she's the youngest, then there's definitely a problem.
Okay. So yeah, we're asking everyone today about dreams and visions. So if you've had any crazy dreams over the last few weeks or anything that you can't understand, then put them in the comments and we're going to try and pick them apart for you today. That's even smaller, Richard. It needs to be a bit bigger. That's a bit better.
That's
for you, everyone. We're just trying to fix the screen. There we go. That's a bit better.
So Christiane, hello. What lovely hair she has.
I know. Okay, so we were just about to hear from Jane on a little experience she had very recently. So going into the topic of dreams and visions, what was your experience?
Well, I dreamt the other night that I was trying to put a tent up. And although I have been camping, used to have a T4, I cannot put a tent up for love or money, and would definitely sit that one out and watch somebody else do it. And I was getting in a right old tizwas with it, and there was loads of wind and loads of rain, and I was thinking, oh God, I can't be doing this. Anyway, yesterday I put some stuff on buy and sale, camping stuff, so I thought that's why I dreamt it. Yesterday I got someone asked me for the tent, but could they have it in a few days' time because they were homeless and didn't have the money till a few days. So because my son's going straight away, Mum, it's a scam, don't go for it. And I went, no, it's not a scam because I am psychic. And I said, that's what I always tell him, and I try and catch him out. But I actually generally thought, no, there's more to this. So I said to him, please don't take this the wrong way. are you truly homeless? Because I would willingly give it to you, and I have a sleeping bag as well. And he came back with, oh, yes, thank you so much. I don't know where anyway, one thing led to another. I arranged to meet him. Everyone thought I was mad, meeting a complete stranger. But he is homeless. A lot of people were cynical how he was on Facebook. I think people are very, blindsided by what homeless means, because he hasn't been homeless for long, and he did have a job. It's just he hasn't got a home. So anyway, he had a solar charger he'd got off Buy and Sell, and he keeps trying to charge his stuff on that, but he was going into the libraries and doing it. So there is reasons why they can still have a phone. But I ended up giving him a sleeping bag, tent, told him I wouldn't have a clue how to put it up, but he said he will. A pair of thick thermal gloves that I had when I went back to Iceland. I went to Iceland a couple of years ago. A waterproof bag and some other little bits, and a sheet that stopped the wind and rain hitting him, because obviously it was horrendous yesterday. And he said he put all his stuff in a bush and come back and someone had took it.
Oh no!
So he literally had nothing. I gave him some money for a meal, and he asked if he could contact me later on and thank me when he's back on his feet and pay me back. So I knew by just meeting him that he was genuine anyway. And I must admit, when I came away and drove, I felt bad watching him walk up the road with all the stuff going back to where he told me he was staying. He's told me where he's found somewhere to sort of, get a little bit of protection. And I just watched him walk out, and I just thought, oh, that's terrible. That's really terrible. You don't know how someone ends up homeless. But I drove back as well thinking, how mad that tent, that wind and that rain was actually something that was coming 2 days later.
Yeah, but this happened when you were sleeping, right? So it
happened when I was sleeping. But like we said earlier before we went live, a lot of my dreams have always been more visional. I've dreamt something and it's happened. Not totally how it's happened in the dream, because they are a little bit crazy. Not as crazy as Polly's, but they are crazy. Yeah, and sometimes they're so far-fetched, you think, what is that? And then when it happens, you think, that sort of makes sense, because I don't think they show you always in that dream or vision what it actually is. You've got to then realise. So that was my dream or vision, and that was my good deed yesterday in the pouring rain.
Interesting. Well, I've just got a little bit here. I've got a little bit here written about premonitional dreams, and it sounds like exactly what you've just spoke about. So I'll just tell you what it says. Premonitional dreams is the angels, guardian angels, spirit guides, or loved ones' way of getting your attention and telling you things that are about to happen. And they show visions, not word by word, but just visions. And that's why it doesn't make sense at the start, but later on we connect the dots and understand.
Right, so Di Fleming. I had a recurring dream that when I was about 11 or 12, looking around a school, at the time the education people were looking at boarding schools for me, and the next part is later on I went for an interview at a school which was identical to the recurring dream I had. It was like deja vu, as the school viewing was exactly as I dreamt. How that is definitely a vision, isn't it, rather than a dream. And obviously it was deja vu, because as we talked about the other week, the way my guides explained it to me, when you have deja vu, it's because you've actually jumped into the future, and without knowing, if that makes sense, you've jumped into that future, and then when you've come back again, then you've lived it. That's the deja vu. That's what's happened. And so yes, you had obviously dream state type vision where you did actually do that. That's fascinating, isn't it?
Brilliant, amazing. So nice when you can actually confirm that is it. That's what's happened.
But have either of you two done that? Dreamt of something? I know, Lia, you said you don't dream much, but have you ever dreamt of somewhere totally where you've never been, but you're there, and then even if it's not months, it could be years down the line, it happens, and you think it feels familiar? Because I've done that as well.
I haven't dreamt like a long time ago. I used to do this when I was a child, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But I tend to go into a building. And bearing in mind my sense of direction is absolutely shocking. Honestly, I can't remember anything. If I remember going to a hotel, this is in real life, in Tenerife, and there was like, as you went down the stairs, if you went left, it was sort of went outside into the, you know, this lobby that seemed to be matching, if you know what I mean. But if you went left, it went outside. If you went right, you went out to where the pool was. And it's funny because I was shocking. Every time I came downstairs, I went the wrong way in a swimming costume and went outside. You know what I mean? That's stupid. It just doesn't click. But often I've walked into buildings where they're so familiar, I could almost take you round it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've obviously been there before somehow, if that makes sense, because they wouldn't feel so familiar. Or I feel like, oh, I feel really good here. I feel really good here. That's fine. I know this. I like this. I feel like I've been here before, you know, but not really in a dream state. I've not really dreamt it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Mr. and Mrs. Hello, just saw your little comment there. And I want Lia's dog. Did you see him on me there?
Even faces and people were the same. Wow. That's interesting, isn't it?
Hi, ladies, and Richard. Big love to you all from Kelly. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
But yeah,
Hello,
Polly, I
Kelly.
feel very similar. Hi, Kerry. Hi, Kerry. Yeah, mine's kind of the same as yours, Polly. It's like seems to be more things like in the future, but it's not like we've had the dream in the past or we don't remember having the dream. So it's almost like we've jumped into the future and not known that we've come back, but then we only notice like when we get there. It's very odd. But it's like going places and you just know where you are. Yeah.
Hi, Neela.
Hi, Neela. How are you?
See, I had another weird experience back last year, just before we all went into the official lockdown. There was, me and Polly both do Rouhani healing, and I don't know if Polly was aware, but there was a little bit of a debate going on our healing page. There was some comments made, and I didn't agree with them because I didn't think there was love and light.
Right.
And I'm quite an outspoken person, and if I really feel that something's quite bad or someone's been offended, I do sort of get a little bit. That's not right. I can't sit back. So I commented.
I don't know what you're talking about actually, because I don't read them. But yeah,
it's our healing sharing page that we do. But someone, in a nutshell, someone had some mental health issues, and they was basically told they were not allowed to work as a healer. But the way they were told was quite, I thought, unfriendly and unnecessary. And also, I think there's a bit of a debate as a healer. If you're not well in general, you shouldn't be doing any work. But actually, as a healer, it's a lot of our clients can be suffering with those issues, and actually it helps them. So, but anyway, it got a little bit unpleasant, and I commented on that, and I actually got outed out by somebody at the top, and basically told I was unkind and a black-hearted person, and they wanted my practitioner taken away. But it was only because I'd questioned her authority. So I dreamt a little way. It went on for a little while, and it was upsetting somebody very close to me who was also in that sort of field. And I then had a vision, and like I said, I call it a vision, where I woke up, I was in my dream, and there were these people in like clothy cloakies, like potato sack cloths. Some were in black and some were in white, and they were all walking with their head down in a line. But as they got to the end, there was two doors. One was particularly dark and one was particularly light. And people separated and went off into the different doors. So when I woke up, I thought, oh, that's Rouhani, because there's a little shift going on here. But several weeks later, we went into lockdown, and obviously COVID hit. And I think it almost had a double meaning, because I think people had such different attitudes, had such different views, and even now have such horrendous views if you're trolling, and I think it was almost showing how the world was going to start separating and pulling against each other. So I think it had a double meaning, but it took me ages to work out that. So yeah, I think a lot of my dreams, they seem random.
Yeah, but then you can always connect the dots though.
But they make sense, but that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, when I was just listening to what you said, I mean, they say, don't they, that there's such a massive shift going on that a lot of proper, when I say that, I don't mean it horribly to people, people that are working truly from the heart, people that are moving further into like higher dimensions, for example, if people at home believe in that, because they don't have to, are really shifting forwards. I know that that maybe over the last few years I've had to shed a lot of skin, I've had to shed, you know, and sometimes it's shedding friendships, sometimes it's shedding people that aren't doing you any good, sometimes it's shedding your own attitude towards yourself, whatever it is. And I don't think I've ever valued myself like I have over the last probably year and a half. Like I value myself, I think, you know, and I'm ready for whatever's next, even though I don't know what's next, you know. I'm thinking, right, come on then, I'm just gonna have to be ready for it. And I think there's a lot of massive shifting going on, and that's why a lot of people are dreaming, and often they're letting go dreams, because what's important when you're shifting forwards is letting go of the past, because if you're always living in the past, you cannot go forward. You can't. If you're hating, if you're bitter, if you're blaming everybody else in the world for your misfortunes, and okay, it might be that they've contributed to your misfortunes, but in the end of the day, it's up to us not to live in that pit of hell, isn't it? And I think there's a lot of shifting type dreams going on at the moment that are bringing up what we need to get rid of. And that's why a lot of people at the moment are saying about how messed up their dreams are. But are they really messed up, or are they just like reflecting what we need to acknowledge? And I really think that at the moment,
like your brain trying to unfilter like information that you don't need anymore, or you're just carrying
absolutely. And I think, you know, it's reflected in the readings I'm doing at the moment, in the fact that some people are coming very spiritual. Readings are very spiritual about the way they're moving forward and everything else. But then you've got people really, really stuck in this third dimension, recurring life patterns, like, you know, going with the wrong person in relationships all of the time, and destructive, horrible, victimizing relationships, and that's what they're craving. And I'm thinking, oh no, you know, you need to leave that. But we can advise, we can guide, you know. It's up to the person, the individual that's having the reading, whether they're going to listen to their dreams, or they're going to listen to the information that's coming out. You know, we have free will.
But then your ego gets involved, doesn't it, and just goes back to what you know. So you end up back with somebody very similar to someone you've had before, just because it feels comfortable, even though it's not. Because that's what you know. And I could honestly say that, you know, at this point in my life, and it's weird because before New Year, I had some really odd shifting dreams, very insecure dreams where I sort of felt all on my own, which is really weird. But actually, I didn't even think I was bothered about that in waking life. But obviously, clearly, something had to be moved along. But the moment New Year's Day came, my dreams have been, apart from the other night, really uplifting, positive, with a real meaning to them, spiritual meaning. Some of them are a bit cryptic, a bit like what you said, Jane, where they're cryptic, and you're thinking, oh, geez, what on earth does that mean? Right, but then it seems to come to the fore. So it's very strange, isn't it, how the energy affects us, I think, in our dreams. I mean, we've got his bell here. I'll just read his comment out there, just because it's been there for a while. I had a dream the other night that I was brushing my teeth. The odd thing was I was sitting on a bus with other people watching.
Shall I tell you about teeth? Shall I tell you about teeth? Because I've got so people know, I've got the Dictionary of Dreams in front of me. Polly's got one, but we're not going to go there because it wasn't as easy.
Idiot's Guide wasn't very.
We thought we could just pick some bits out for you if you ask us. So, I mean, teeth. A lot of people always think teeth is a sign of insecurity. It's because a lot of people dream of losing their teeth in their dreams. But teeth can represent good, because if they're healthy teeth, and if he's brushing them, that tells me that he's looking at, you know, they're looking after them. It's a sign of health and good luck. If you lose them, it's distress and misfortune. And it's funny that it says they're on a bus, because on a bus or in a public place, there's a lot of people dream about being naked or being in a vulnerable situation. So you wouldn't, because I mean, I did do a little bit of stuff on dreams ages and ages ago. So I thought I'll get this book out and have a quick, I was having a little sort of research last night. But if you're dreaming of somewhere public, in your dream, but you're doing something that would be more personal and less public, it's usually you're having a problem with your identity, as in you don't feel safe, like we've just been saying about self-esteem, or just feeling a bit low in yourself, or it is because you're an actual, you know, what's the word, extrovert, and you like to be out and showing off. something tells me it's more about getting out there with good health, looking after yourself, but at the same time getting back out there, because so many people are stuck indoors at the moment.
Just don't go out.
Hi Heidi.
Hello Heidi.
Sitting in the car waiting for her son to finish work.
She's not sitting in a bus cleaning her
at least
teeth.
she's not. You're not cleaning your teeth.
I've just pulled this
saying,
up, but
no. Sally saying, "Oh no, just realised you're on. Better late than never. Hi everyone." Yes, we were in a bit of a mix up today, Sally, but we're here.
So a bus is a symbol of public transportation, and therefore an attempt to fit in with the crowd. As mentioned, if you dream that you are on a bus, it may symbolise that you live your life in an attempt to fit in. You go with the flow and would rather not stand out too much.
So that sort of sits with what I said about cleaning your teeth in a public place where you would actually normally be quite private and keep yourself to self or have low self-esteem. So maybe he's having a problem at the moment with being more open and, how can I put it? Not wanting to be the centre of attention. Who knows? Or he really generally loves his teeth. I see Neeling's asked about the significance of black and white feathers. I mean, we know that feathers are spiritual. I know black has actually got a separate meaning.
So black and white means that changes are coming more for your spiritual development.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought black represents spirit. A real spirit is around you. It's not just a sign. It's actually a spirit is around you. Trying to. I'm just going to look up.
I'm just looking
Polly,
up that
quick,
now.
going through our books. my feathers bit says to dream of large and handsome feathers, like a peacock, I expect, shows a good present, sometimes of money. To dream of small white feathers donates something which you fear, but will meet with courage. To see waving white plums shows promotion and honour. So, again, it depends. I mean, there's spiritual people. We just believe feathers are a sign of spirituality. But I do know black feathers are actually quite prominent, and that's usually when someone is trying to get your attention and you have a spirit, literally have a spirit around you, not just signs being thrown at you.
This says you're being protected by someone you loved and lost. This is for a black feather. It seems like someone you loved and lost is watching over you and protecting you. The appearance of a black feather may suggest that a little negativity is heading your way, but with the help of this special someone, you'll get through any rough patches and emerge stronger than ever, and you're not alone.
So there's definitely more prominent. Black is definitely more prominent than the general feathers.
And I think sometimes with feathers you have to see them more than once, don't you, to really acknowledge it. Sometimes if you see it you might think, oh, it's just a feather, but
unless it's in a really strange place. That's probably when you find it in a really strange
or something.
Like the other day I actually found a white feather sticking out of my bra. I was wearing it, right, and I don't know exactly why, but it was I was like, oh,
come from.
But was it not tickling you?
I never go red. Honestly, I never go red. I would
cardigan.
I just suck it up.
So you weren't playing with any feather boas or something then?
I was not. There was nothing kinky going on. I was all alone.
There is always, so that is mad, isn't it? To have it there if you've not, that is.
Once I woke up with one stuck in my finger, but to be fair, that might have been out of my pillow.
Yeah.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Bridget.
And hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Neelam. I've lost my dad last year. So it could be little signs and symbols from him. Definitely. Yeah. So that would be.
I'd say so.
If you see your loved one in a dream, it comes under a visitation dream, doesn't it? It's when you actually have a vision of your loved one, whether you're having a conversation with them or you might not even see them, you just might have the dream and just feel them around.
Yeah, not always though. Not always. And I'll tell you why. Somebody came to me once and they wanted a reading because they'd had a really awful dream about their parent that passed away. But when she explained it to me, it was a long time ago now. When she explained it to me, it totally made sense to me because I was like saying the way the dream was, it was like she could see the I think both parents were on bike. No, was it both parents were on bikes, and she was so we're just like cycling away from her, and she was running, trying to catch them. And I was saying, look, that isn't like a visitation dream. That is literally because you're trying to hang on to their memory, you know, that sort of thing. Not in the way that they were trying to escape from her, which was what she was thinking it was, you know. Which you can understand why it would upset you, because it is about your parents that have passed away, you know. You'd want them to be embracing you or something, wouldn't you? But,
I see Alison's row. She often has a dream about her hair being cut very short and wakes up panicking. Now, Alison, before we went live, we were talking about Polly's weird dream with hair. So we've already discussed the hair, and in my book it said if you have your hair, it's for some reason it's referring to black hair, but I don't think it matters. If you have your hair cut short, it signifies despondency or a cranky nature or a tendency of melancholia. I can't get it out now. Melancholia, which basically means maybe you need to address something, or you're actually not responding to something that maybe you could be. So it could be something that's on your mind and you keep shelving it or putting it to the back and not dealing with it. That's what mine says, but Polly did talk about that as well.
Mine said it was like feeling out of control. It depends if somebody else is cutting it or you're cutting it yourself. There's lots of like different things with dreams, isn't there? You can dream of a ladder, and a wooden ladder will mean one thing and a metal ladder would mean another. But it's like if there was difference whether you're cutting your own hair or somebody is cutting your hair. And in my dream, somebody was cutting chunks of my hair off, or trying to. And apparently it's like something you need to deal with, or that you could be feeling slightly out of control in situations or work situations, it said. But I think other than the fact that I had an abundance of people wanting readings at the same time on the same day, and I just couldn't do that, that was probably my feeling out of control. You know?
Just going back to Alison's comment there about, I think it was Alison, it's gone now, about the short hair. I feel like, I was just tuning into you a little bit, I feel like there's actually change coming for you. But yes, Alison, so I've often had a dream that my hair being cut very short, I wake up panicking. For me, it feels like there's actually quite a lot of change coming up for you, but you're resisting the change, and you might not, you're kind of putting it off even though you know that it has to happen. So let me know if that makes sense, but I feel that's what your dream was about there. Change is coming, but you're resisting it a little bit.
I feel that as well. It's almost like you know that you have to make, you should make a change to be able to move on or forward. But you sort of feel chained. It's almost like you feel like you can't. It's like you feel chained to a situation, or maybe it might be chained to family. But it just feels like that there's whatever responsibilities are, you feel stuck, and it's like you're helping everyone else.
It's like you're dipping your toe in the water and then coming right back, and then you'll go in a little bit and then you're going to come right back, but this is something that you have to do.
Hi Stace.
Hi Stace.
Hi Daniela.
Hi Daniela.
So what about you, Leah? What's been your most random dream, or a dream that you'd like to share with us?
I was just saying to Jane earlier, I really can't remember any dreams. I don't think that I dream that much. And I think that's because I'm just aware of things during the day that will like pop in my mind, or I'll like have a little vision about what's going to happen in the future, or I don't know. I don't seem to live like in the past. It's very much in the future. It happens when I'm awake. It doesn't happen when I'm dreaming for some reason.
Do you
have,
meditate
like, more
a lot?
Visits?
Pardon?
You have more like of visions?
More visions, yeah. It's more like visions, or I kind of feel in a way that I like hack my own mind. Like, for example, if I'm like, silly things like driving to the shops, I'm like, I want to park here, and I've visualized myself going into that parking space and then going in, getting my stuff really easy, like no one's in the line in front of me, and I just like go through it, and then it often happens that way, and it's almost like I've just manifested it to happen.
Can you get in my car around here?
Do you meditate a lot, Leah? Do you do a lot of meditation?
I do a lot of daydreaming. So actually,
daydreaming
much, but I meditate whilst I'm awake.
Yeah, because daydreaming is meditation. Doing housework can be meditation. I think people overthink meditation. People think they've got to sit in a trance and turn everything off and just tune into some meditation. Meditation is when you switch off in general and can shut everybody out.
Yeah.
Washing up for Richard. But I used to, before a client used to come, in the morning I would do housework sometimes. I'd already might have meditated, but I actually would do housework because it made me feel I was cleansing and But I just wondered, because some people that meditate before they go to bed, they can sometimes have really random dreams because they've opened up their psyche. But if you've gone, like you said, if you've dealt with everything during the day, you've gone to bed quite relaxed. I mean, I did say, I think on one of the shows the other day, I don't dream as much as what I used to. I used to have some very erratic, overthinking, mad dreams. I think all this shifting that's been going on is definitely playing havoc with psychics. But for me, it's big visions, and then it could be nothing, and I could sleep. I mean, I have random sleep anyway, but I don't have too much overthinking in my dreams. So I don't know. I wonder if it's because we are all just different and how we tune in. I just want to go back to Alison, because I read that before we started rambling about she doesn't trust herself in her mediumship, doesn't believe in herself. And while you two were both tuning into it, I picked her a card. I picked her Solitude. Which goes back to the fact, the despondency that I read, what you were picking up, that the solitude is within herself. Can I just say, Alison, you should never mistrust anything you do psychically, because we are our worst critics. And I know that better than anyone, because I really did struggle trying to do this professionally, not because trying as in trying to get out there, because I generally didn't trust myself and didn't want to be responsible to give people information. And you've just got to go with what is natural to you. We are all different. We all work differently. Me, Polly, Leah, we all work differently. So just trust what you believe, what you do, and don't worry about anybody else.
And it will make sense what you're saying. It will make sense.
Yeah, it will. Well, actually, it shouldn't make sense, because we don't actually know why we get the things we get. Yeah. But that's the point. We're not meant to know. We just give the information out. So you've just got to
need
go
to practice. You need to find some other people that are on the same, like you both in the same sort of growth stage, and just practice on each other.
Yeah.
Because the
remember,
other person is the same.
Yeah. So Richard just said you're doing really well.
Apparently you're doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the interesting thing is that when I was just thinking then to when I went going right back, I know this is going right off the dream scale there, but when I first started doing readings, and I think I was really quite clever in that fact, is that I thought, right, okay, I'm not going to call myself a medium. I'm going to do angel cards, and then I'm not going to promote myself as a medium, but then I used to say to the people when I first started, doing parties. I could do it, but it's the confidence of going out and being paid for it, for example. Yeah. And so then I'd say I'm an angel card reader, have these parties, and then I'd say to them, if I pick up something mediumistically, is it okay to give it to you? And they'd say, oh yeah. And so then if I got something and I was confident about it, I'd say it. But then if I didn't feel confident, then I wouldn't. And I thought, well, if you don't,
and you were okay,
sometimes it's like, if you dip your toe in, right, okay, I'm confident with these cards, for example, let's try that, or tea leaves, or whatever else you want to do. And then just work up. So just say, okay, I'd like to practice this. If it comes up, can I do that for you? And that's what did it for me, to the point then I thought, no, I actually believe in myself as a medium now, because it's coming every time, every time. So let's set now I'm going to put myself on that marker, and then think, right, okay, and now I'm going to carry on being at that marker until I decide I want to be something else, you know what I mean? So it is a confidence thing, and everybody has to start somewhere. And I always say as well, I mean, lots of stuff that comes out of my mouth doesn't happen for people straight away. They can't see it straight away. I'll say, look, write it down, record it, whatever you want to do. I said, because if this information is coming thick and strong, this is going to happen. And no, I can 9 times out of 10, in fact 9.8 times out of 10, the people will phone me and say, oh, everything you said happened. And you're thinking, okay, because they didn't believe me at the time, they couldn't see it. I'm like, okay, well, I can't remember what I said to you, but but yeah, brilliant, as long as it's good stuff.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, well, me.
But I just think as well, when you're starting out, you just don't want to compare to others. You just want to try and be you and be true to you. So hopefully, I'm just looking at Stacey.
Yeah, I know. I just try not to laugh, but it's
sorry,
not funny,
Stacey. But you've put, I had a dream that my fingers were being pulled off last night and replaced with new younger ones. And the reason I laughed is because I turned over the TV last night and watched Deadpool 2, which I have never watched any Deadpool film. And I actually sat and thought, what is this? What is this? And in it, his legs grew, because he was pulled apart, and his legs grew back, and he had baby legs on the body, and it was just, yeah, it was weird. But anyway, I've just looked up fingers. Richard's laughing now. He's obviously watched it. Fingers, to dream that your fingers are painful and swollen shows that you will suffer in some way with them, maybe from gout, chilblains, or some other ailment affecting the fingers. If you burn your fingers, it warns you to be careful to try and avoid this, and cut your finger slightly without it's bleeding. That's a bit random. Anything to cut your finger deeply signifies injuries. And then it says small accidents or small fingers donates new relationships.
Oh, well, that would make sense with what I've got. Will you stop laughing, Mr. P?
They still think
is.
Hey, what are you looking at?
I can't even understand what he's saying.
My face. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I am very visual when I'm doing it. I'm very sorry.
So if you saw cut off fingers in a dream, this symbol indicates that you can be deprived of support in your family and friends. If you saw someone else's torn off finger, this means, I don't know if this is funny, it isn't. This means people will point out your mistakes and will constantly interfere in your life. Stace, we are not laughing at you. We are laughing just because Richard's being immature about fingers.
No, it's being immature about me going up and down my nose.
Please let us know if any of them make sense to you.
I would say for Stacey, it's because she's also on her mediumship journey and her psychic counselling journey and all different. So I think for her, it is because she's starting afresh. She's doing her poetry, so she's got lots going on. So all the old fingers are off.
Yeah,
she's growing new. Stop, Richard. You know what? When I think of that, Stacey, when I said they're all off, I want to put your hands in I want to put your hands in earth. I want to put them right in the dirt,
like roots,
and like roots where they're growing back. So yeah, so I think that's because you're on a new journey anyway, and it's all about new things that you've started.
And you've got your fingers left by something bottom off.
Yes,
you might want to rephrase that. You've got your finger in a few pies, Stace, and then new things, new fingers in new pies.
I should play that back later, Di, and see how that sounded, because obviously Richard can't stop laughing. So yes, I should rephrase my words more carefully. And when I read next time, I will have the book up here.
Yeah.
So I'm not... Right, moving on. Have we got anyone else that wants to ask us a question about dreams? Before Richard falls off his chair laughing. Hi, Michelle.
Good afternoon, Michelle. Okay, Stacey. Son's got no fingers on his left hand. No joke. You're fine, ladies, but yes, I can take both of that from Jane and Polly. Okay, so your son's got no fingers on his left hand. So I wonder if that's anything to do with maybe he's going to get some new technology that's going to help him or something like that.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Interesting.
Di, I don't dream every night, and for a long time I didn't have any dreams, but I find that when I do, they are super clear, and when I don't, I may often wake with the lyrics of a song in my head. I did that. I woke up with the Ghostbusters song in my head the other day. Right, honestly, you're like, you're gonna call. I was like,
Ghostbusters.
I was thinking, what am I doing today? What's today's little antics then? Stuck in my living room.
That's so funny. Hi, Pamela. Good afternoon, Richard, and three gorgeous ladies. So glad I haven't missed you.
Hi,
we're glad that you're here. So, has anyone else had any crazy dreams? Let us know in the comments, or visions. Have you had dreams or visions or deja vu?
I did. I don't. It's quite a horrible one.
Can I just tell you? I used to know this person. No, listen, I used to know this person who couldn't say deja vu, and it just, when something makes you laugh every single time, and you almost want them to say it, and they're going, deja vu, deja vu. And I was like, I used to love that. We used to call it Deja Du for ages.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Well, I
had. When I was younger. Right, here we go. When I was younger, I kept having a recurring dream of being chased by a tiger. Hadn't had it for years and had it again a couple of weeks ago.
Oh.
Wow. I've got, is it Joe Richards? I can't, what's Mr. and Mrs. B's name? Joe. It's Joe. Joe, I just looked up tiger. I'm going to try not to be making faces with it. And it says, if it is near and you endeavour to evade it, you may expect to be harassed and perplexed. If it is at distance and it springs disturbingly towards you, it's news from India. Now, come on. Wow, I don't know, it might be. A tiger upon its hind legs indicates that you will be in danger through someone who is in a position of authority. So it's funny because as I read that, I got a feeling that it might have been related to, at the moment, to work, to some kind of work situation that's bothering you, and that's why it's reoccurred. So I don't even think it may be the same dream. I think it's an element of an old dream that you've recreated now.
It might be because there's a lot of... Sorry, go on, Leah.
Okay, I feel like it might be that you're actually going to be stepping into a new position or stepping into your own power in some way, and it's basically just giving you the strength to be able to do that. So I don't know if you had the same dream back when you were maybe progressing in your career or something like that, but I feel like it's something to do with maybe stepping into your own power or maybe your own business or something like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I've just read being chased by a tiger. If you're dreaming that a tiger is chasing you, it is likely you are running away from your own personal feelings and emotions. You may be afraid of power, even afraid to step into your own power, or afraid of someone who has power or control over you. So this is very, very relative to what you're saying, Leah. Now it's funny because I always love listening to you guys because then you get all these things popping into your head, don't you? But I do feel like there's actually something coming up that you feel is slightly out of your comfort zone. And it's just, when they're sort of making that, like we're talking about the mediumship, for example, of doing it and being paid for it is a very different thing, isn't it? For example, but it's like moving into a new... There it is, motorcars.
That's me, motorbikes going by again.
Stepping into like a new era of your life, but there's almost like this feeling sort of not worthy of it, but this is saying that you are worthy of it. The fear of it is actually more scary than the actual thing, and it's like we can wind ourselves up and overthink, can't we, about everything in the world. We all can do it, but this is saying just don't worry about it, because whatever it is you're about to jump into, or you've got the opportunity to jump into, it's the sound of it is scarier than the real thing, and then once you're in it, there's not going to be time for you to worry about it. You'll just be fine. So it's all going to be fine.
I think that somebody's going to ask you to step in for someone or something like that, and it's going to happen that way. Let us know. So anyone else got any dreams they want us to pick apart?
Happy joy.
Hello.
I feel all happy and joyous now.
Who else have we got?
I'll tell you my worst recurring dream, and this is when I was a really, really little girl, right? It's quite bizarre looking back on it. Right, what happened in real life was me and my brother were playing outside, and a Jehovah's Witness, this is real life, had come in, knocked on the door when we were playing out the back, and my mum used to childmind as well, so we had other kids there, and they left the gate open, right? So like we potentially could have ran out onto the main road, and my mum went absolutely mental. It was totally against Jehovah's Witnesses, not because of their religion, because they left our gate open, right? And she was evil to them every single time one knocked on our door. So that's the sort of background story. But then after that, I used to dream that my brother was really, really little, and he was at the time. He was only sort of 18 months to, obviously when I was young, it's a long time ago now, and we just used to play out, you just did, it didn't matter how old you were, and but I dreamt that somebody came into our gate and was leaving the gate open, and I was trying to stop my brother running out, and the boy, it was about a 16-year-old boy, came in and strangled my brother to death. And then there was a big there was a big like Silver Cross pram with a white box on it, and he laid my limp brother over the box.
Whoa.
And I used to dream that when I was so my brother was 18 months, so I must have been, well, I was a couple of years older than him. So yeah, I used to have this recurring nightmare.
And you still remember that so well?
I can remember it like it happened. And I used to worry about him, and I think it was instigated from that dream, because she said you could have killed the children, you know. And so I'm dreaming of my brother, and I've got this massive responsibility to keep him safe. Really horrible.
Yeah, that is very weird.
So Pamela, I was being shunned in my dream, saying I didn't get my vaccine. I said yes, I have, but in reality, I have not had yet. So in my dream, they didn't want them near me.
Didn't want the vaccine people near you, or?
I think that's probably.
They didn't want you near them because you didn't have the vaccine.
Oh, so she was being shunned by other people because she hadn't had a vaccine yet. I think with that dream, that's probably something a lot of people, not necessarily exactly the same dream, because that'd be worrying. It really will be true that we've all got microchips in us.
All that's in everyone's head.
Let's lose those conspiracy theories right now. But yeah, I think with that would be quite common at the moment. People having that fear. I mean, and also say the dreaded word, that fear of death, that fear of something happening to our loved ones. So I think that is probably because you're worried in general.
I think, And the thing is, there's so many people on, say, for example, just even, well, in your family unit, or your friends, or on social media, there's so many people literally chucking information down your throat all the time, or like picking on people if they decide that they're not having it, or they are having it, or whatever. I just say to people, if you really don't want it, don't have it, you know. And I don't think it's selfish. I think it's freedom of choice. You know, if somebody doesn't want to come near you, then I don't think they're a very good friend, you know. I mean, because I wouldn't go near anybody if I thought there was anything remotely wrong with me at this moment. I wouldn't do it, you know. And if I thought there was anything wrong in our family, my family wouldn't be going outside, you know. We just wouldn't. Yeah. But, you know, I respect, but I know that I can see the big picture, and I know you guys can too, that I'm not going to judge anyone whether they want it or they don't. I'm not going to judge anyone whether they're a conspiracy theorist or they're not, you know. I don't care what they are. They can believe whatever they like.
And I think if you take out the fact it's a vaccine and everyone says it's so new, think about all the other stuff in the world that you're vaccinated against and all the other medications. So for anyone out there, I think you've got to use your own judgment, not keep overthinking this. Like I said, personal opinions doesn't really matter at the moment. It's about what you want to do and don't do. And if you went to your doctors for something, a few years back, and they said, "Oh, you'll need this to help you," a lot of people wouldn't have batted an eyelid. So I think, but I think a lot of that is we've all been indoors too long, spending too much time on our own, especially if you live on your own. So I think that shunning is because we're not seeing people. So we literally are being shunned. We're not seeing people. We're not interacting.
Yeah,
I know we have gone off a little bit, but I drove past one of the billboards, I think at a bus stop yesterday, with the COVID advert on, which are everywhere. They're on the telly if you open it up. But at the bottom it said, "Human contact spreads this virus," or something like that. I can't remember how it read. But I have to say, for me, as I drove by, I thought, I don't like reading that. Because we know
not natural
contact. But it's not natural to see that in words. Even that can play havoc with your mind and make you go away. So it's not just what other people are saying, it's everything about this situation. It is swirling round and
even
round.
like when I walk the dogs up and down the street, if I'm walking down, then I notice the person walking towards me will even like cross the road or something. And then when I see someone walking towards me, I think, oh my gosh, do I need to like cross the road or something just so that they feel better, or do we walk past each other? And it's not natural. It feels so weird.
It is.
I just walk. If somebody doesn't want to be with me or next to me, then that's fine. They can do a great big fat wide berth. But I'm not changing my habits. If somebody wants to, which they do, where we live in North End Portsmouth, and it's like, roads off roads off roads, and you're probably similar, aren't you, with Leah, where you live? And you get some people who've got masks on walking down the road, and at night, and then they see you 2 cars away, they'll go out into the middle of the road, go like that and come back in again. And then you've got the people that sort of, the ones that are slightly inebriated, that I think actually I might walk away. I might walk around them because I've got no spatial awareness at that time.
Yeah. All right, we got Cameron here saying, I had a dream where I went for a pint with my past granddad, who gave me a pint of his favourite ale. I could taste it. I had never tried this before, but when I tried it physically recently, it tasted the same as it had from the dream. Interesting.
That is a definite visitation dream. That is definitely not a dream.
And the fact that you could taste it in your dream almost, and then it tasted the same. It takes me back to when we do my battery's going to go, but I'm still here. It takes me back to when we used to do, to learn how to visualize, you would pretend that you had a lemon and you were squeezing it on your tongue, and then you would actually feel like you're having that lemon, like as if you could taste it.
Or so you'd visualize something you really hated. You'd have to think of something you really hated and imagine that taste.
Yeah, but I don't want to imagine tuna, because tuna's disgusting.
I'm just going to get my charger.
Mine's kidney, because I can't even stand the smell of it. But so that's definitely a visitation dream, and also quite common that people will say they've tasted something or felt something or looked at something and then it's happened, and they can actually physically relive it when it happened. So but did it taste nice, Cameron? Did you enjoy it? That's
Cameron, I just wondered as well, if you have a Scottish grandfather, because I have a grandfather here wearing a kilt, or he would have Scottish links, okay? And I just felt like I needed to really home in on him there. I had to look at the picture. That's why I was like being Mr. Magoo. But yeah, I keep seeing like a grandfather figure, but he's like wearing a kilt. So he won't be necessarily always wearing a kilt. It's just like symbolic for me that's how it will come through. He's also talking about his chest. So there feels like there was a lot going on with his chest, or a pneumonia towards the end. But a really good guy, but real say it how it is guy when he comes through for you, Cameron. And you don't. Oh, well, somebody else. Right. If it makes sense to anyone else out there has got a granddad.
Me.
A Scottish granddad.
I have my name, Morton. Yeah, I have a Scottish granddad. Yeah.
Oh.
And Richard.
And actually, I felt a massive presence with him lately, with some stuff going on. Because I've been reading some personal letters he wrote to my grandmother.
There's a name Brian connected there somewhere as well.
No,
Scottish grandfather. Then it isn't for you, Cameron. It must be for either Richard, who's in my ear, or if it's probably for you. But you can take a Brian over there as well. Okay, that's fine, because I've just got that coming on. Anyway, just saying that things are going to change probably within 8 weeks, and that this is a message from him for whoever it's for, and there's going to be changes within 8 weeks where everything starts to really look up. So this is just for whoever it's for. That's what the message is there. Right, I'll stop there so we can carry on talking about dreams.
Makes sense.
So we think this might be for Mr. P, because obviously they needed to come through and say something.
So just going back to your recurring dreams, I'm just going to read some of the notes that I wrote earlier, just for anyone at home that is having recurring dreams. Pamela, I have a Scottish grandfather being Scottish. Okay, so it could be for Pamela as well. Let us know if the name makes sense.
This one definitely had a lung problem at the end of his life. There might have been some heart things going on there as well. And he keeps showing me square sausage.
That's haggis.
Definitely.
No, it's a square sausage.
Sausage, yeah. Okay, so for people at home, if you keep getting recurring dreams, get a dream journal and start recording everything down when it's fresh in your mind in the morning. And then just going back to when we spoke about fears and anxieties in dreams, a lot of the time heaven will show our fears and anxiety to let us know to release those fears. Sometimes during the day when we get angry for no reason, or we wake up in a bad mood, it's actually something very deep inside ourselves at the soul level that is eating away at us, and it's ready just to come out. And that's why we're getting all these feelings, because it needs to come out, whatever this thing is. Heaven lets us know to change the negatives into something more positive.
Fabulous.
Have we got anyone else that wants to ask a question? Any more hellos, Mr. Producer?
Yeah.
Now he stopped laughing. Nothing. What, you come on, you come on, you forget that we got the show, you come on late, you have your own
then
reading.
You laugh.
You laugh.
And then you laugh. Hysterics in our ears. Absolute
And there's nothing
nightmare.
out there, see?
I know. Let's pull a card for Pamela. Let's pull a card for Pamela, shall we?
Okay, Pamela. Cheryl's saying, I just started writing my dreams and meditations. That's okay. Started writing our dreams and meditations down. Very interesting. Yep, definitely. And then you'll be able to see where little things changes and what keeps recurring. Keep doing it. I know sometimes it gets boring writing it down every morning, but just do it. It's so worth it.
Definitely worth it as well when you're starting on your spiritual journey, or anyone that's watching that's doing the mediumship stuff, and that it definitely is worth it, because I think with like Alison, it might give her the
I love tuna. Oh, yeah. Pamela, I can't stand
love tuna as well.
I threw up badly. Well, I think I had food poisoning and I'd eaten it, and no, never again. Right, I've pulled a couple of cards for Pamela. Now, Pamela, this is all about self-care. We've got 7 of Pentacles there. That can be nurturing something, and the 6 of Swords. Now, if this has been if this has been a bit of a time for you, which it has been for many, where it's almost like you're trying your best to get through, you're slapping on a really good face on it as well, Pamela, and trying to keep this sense of humour up, and that's sort of getting you through at the moment. There seems to have been like a few knockbacks for you, or even I want to say a couple of friends that haven't proved to be quite as holier than thou as they could be. It just feels like, if you've been feeling a little bit insecure around some relationships, I want to say more friend relationships, Pamela, this is a time for just thinking, okay, is this actually making me happy? Because I feel like if it's sort of been rumbling in your mind whether they've been someone's being sincere or not, I always want to say that somebody's trying to hold you back. But this is a time for going forward, not backwards. So it's like making sure that people around you, mentors, that you've got a very, very natural spiritual gift. And this is like a time for thinking, do you know what? I'm just going to have a go. I'm going to get out there a little bit more. I don't know if somebody's going to ask you to do a live or something with them, because it feels really important that you do it. Okay, Pamela? It feels really important that you get yourself out there, get your face out there, and do it with someone on a split screen or however you want to do it, or Zoom. But it just feels like you're going to be asked to do something, and actually it's going to be the best thing you did. Once you got your head round it, and once you got over yourself, you're going to be really good. So just try not to be led by people that aren't doing you any favours or seem to be holding you back or knocking your confidence, and go with those who are trying to help you forward. Okay, I hope that makes some really mad random sense to you, Pamela.
But it makes sense to me, because I picked Victory and Success number 6 and straight away I kept blowing my own trumpet, and I felt like all that darkness around it was actually coming out of a dark place, a dark stormy area, and going towards the light. But I wanted to keep saying, while you were talking, Polly, blow your own trumpet more. But I also wanted to say, and Pamela will probably laugh at this, I wanted to shout down that trumpet a very rude swear word to somebody. Because I just felt there's a mixed bag with it. Like, yeah, blow your own trumpet and do get that. I think Pamela works with Matt and Kirsty, if I remember rightly. So I think she does need to be doing something. And there is somebody that she needs to sort of not probably swear at. Well, it's up to you, Pamela. But just shout at, to sort of say, get off, because I feel there's a lot of entanglement going around, and one minute she's feeling really good about herself, but someone is pulling her back, and it's not
Definitely
giving her...
don't swear at Kirsty and Matt, though, because they're lovely.
No, but I think it's someone around her, like you said. I think that she's trying her hardest to go on this journey and get towards that, because you can see it, Pamela, the light going there, the circle of light. I just feel that someone's quite happily would, I'm not going to say push you off the cliff, but topple you over to stop you in that situation feeling good about yourself. That said, I do get a little inkling that could be you at times as well. I think that you are two people, you can be two people and you can be your own worst enemy. But I just feel I want to say, stop that untangling, get out, carry on doing it. And definitely, if you get the opportunity to because I think she's done something in a group, if I remember rightly. So she keep doing it, keep speaking, if you get the opportunity to do a quick reading or mediumship, do it. It's going to help you go forward, not backwards.
Oh, she's put, I'm just starting to talk to them again. So it must be somebody that was a fallout. I asked one of them to do a live today, funnily enough. My emotions have been chaotic lately, but I love my sense of humour. That's good. Sense of humour carries you through.
I'll tell you what mine came through. I pulled 2 cards for you. So from the Goddess pack, you've got the Goddess Irene working with you, and it's all about peace. And it's saying that there's no need to worry because everything is working out beautifully. So really just to take some time just to relax and just to know that everything's going to be okay. And then this other one is actually the angel cards. It's saying never doubt that you can make a difference. And I keep getting in my mind, like, never doubt that you can make a difference on your own. Like, you don't need these people around you to boost your confidence or get you out there, whatever. You can do it on your own, and just not doubting that you can make a difference without anyone. Your creativity and ability is what's going to make you destined to succeed. But I keep getting a lot of art around you as well. So I don't know if you paint or are into photography or something like that, but I just see that there's a lot of creativity, that like things that you can do that no one knows yet. So to really just start doing that. And it's definitely a time to expand your career that I get as well. So it might be career more spiritually if you do readings and things. But I think that keeps coming in my mind is just don't doubt that you can make that difference.
Spiritual art coming your way, Pamela.
Yeah, maybe spiritual art. SW, I did a dream like visualization last night in the bath. Walked through my nan's house, ran my hand over her sofa and looked into her bureau. Then out into the garden, and she was there sitting under a trellis. Wow, that was like a meditation dream. I did a dream like visualization.
Obviously awake. See, yes. I can do that. Not in the bath. I can't get in the bath with my leg. But I can do that in remote state. So that could be more mediumship, psychic. She could have been going into somewhere remotely. And even if that's someone in the past, you can still do that in your waking state, because that's what mediums do. So something tells me that may not have been as much dream as it is more mediumship.
It was almost like he was focused doing it as like a visualization. So it,
to go along the bureau and to the garden, it's very detailed. And when you remotely view something, you are more detailed because you're almost
like you've moved your conscious mind there.
You're a bit too young for this, Leah, but there used to be a show years ago called The Tomorrow People, and they used to read each other's thoughts. Do you remember that, Polly?
So that was a long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago. And they used to be like, they talked to each other through their thoughts, and then they could transport themselves somewhere else. So it's almost like she's moved herself there and gone around it. And that you can do that in the past, present, or future. That doesn't have to be something. So I think that's what she's done.
Amazing.
And Pamela says she does do some painting and loves art and colour. She's got a beautiful thing behind there. But so I think that for SW that could have been more. I wonder if she does psychic work. Doesn't realise she's doing psychic work.
I was awake. Yes, my name is Sharon.
Sharon.
Ah.
Yeah.
So that is interesting, because if your nan is still living, for example, then you have very much done an awake traveling, really. Is awake traveling, like we do astral
traveling.
Yeah.
Like earth traveling.
I've been doing that recently, but it's when I get into bed, I'm half awake, half asleep, and I can take myself to places. Now, they're not familiar places, funnily enough, and I know when I do this, I then tend to sleep, but have erratic sleeps. But I feel like I've been working all night, literally. I won't remember really what's happened, but I know that I've been doing something busy all night. Oh God, did you know? I know you two are on my Facebook, but I had this really weird thing. It's not a visualization, it was a dream, and I would have questioned myself had the only drugs I'd taken is a vitamin D3. But yeah, I was walking. I will always lock my cat flap in my house, and I know you two have probably read this already, because my little fat black dog will come through and scratch on the door when I'm doing readings in here. And obviously at the moment I'm doing all my readings online. And I came out of my shed, my little shed, and my cat's sitting on the side, obviously can't get in, so it's sitting waiting for me to come out. So the cat's running in front of me to go towards the back door, and all that's behind my back door is like a black bin and some tiles. And anyway, the cat jumped and just disappeared into thin air. And what? I stood there staring, and I'm literally staring like where the cat's just disappeared into, which looks like nothing, just looks like normal. Stood and looked behind the bin to make sure it hadn't just gone straight over the top of the bin, which it hadn't, and I knew it hadn't. So I'm stood there for a few minutes looking, waiting, no cat. And I'm so, I mean, I didn't even panic about where the cat had gone. I just thought, what happened then? You know, that was really odd, right? Went in my back door, and then I shut the door, and I'm still looking towards the back door. And then I'm thinking, I haven't opened the cat flap. So I went out, and the cat sat on the doorstep.
That's like some Matrix stuff.
Yeah, that's very Matrix.
Matrix.
Yeah, I did see that like that. I just see that Sharon's put she could feel warmth on her face from the sun and see the yellow flowers that were around the sliding doors. That tells me that is a memory. You know, when you're going back to memories.
Nan passed 10 years ago.
Yeah, that tells me you have still gone remotely. You've gone back in the past and gone round a house how you would have done. And that warmth is the glow, and because flowers are often related to people having past memories of their loved ones. That still doesn't mean I still think it's remote. I think you've remotely gone back to your past and you are seeing it. I mean, I've done that in a workshop where I've pulled someone's nan out, and I've literally described the house in Wales with the old-fashioned 1970s little kitchenette larder covers. They used to have blue. I described it. I could actually draw it. There was an angel inside it. There was something else inside, and I went all through it. And she'd been gone 25 years. So you can still do that in the here and now. So I think that is still some psychic mediumship work you've done there.
And she said, but my sister was there and she's alive. It's almost like you've been in many different timelines. It's like you just merged them together, which is pretty cool. It's like you're creating your own little reality in your head.
Is your sister okay? Don't worry, I don't want you to start ringing her out and panicking, but sometimes that can also be that you're getting that vision because your nan's trying to connect you two together. So I'm wondering if that's why you see your sister, because your nan wants you to know. And I just feel that maybe check. I don't think it's something, you know, when some people don't talk about stuff. Yeah. Especially at the moment, no one's talking about anything. I just feel maybe that's why you were being connected, because it's letting you know, because our remote stuff is actually still shown to us for a reason. There's a reason we're shown it.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if that's why your sister's there, or it was just very happy times growing up.
Remote
viewing, Jane. Sorry, Pamela, am I talking too complicated today? Not the
It is a kind of remote viewing, but it's I think it, like they've said, it's like touching on a bit of everything. There is some mediumship there, but then there's also being able to be in that state where you can literally visit and actually touch and feel emotion, feel the body, feel the flowers, for example. There's quite a lot of different things going on there, and but it's a very good thing to do, and practice it more is what I say.
I think what Pamela's asking me is, what is remote viewing? I think that's what she's asking anyway. It is a form of mediumship, Pamela, but it's also a form of, because I always say I'm a psychic first and foremost. I'm not a medium, a bit like what Polly was saying earlier. I always say that's on that because I'm comfortable with that, and if mediumship comes in, that's great. But remote viewing you can do it with psychic abilities, because it's when you can tune into your sixth sense. And although I truly believe people have psychic abilities, everyone's got the ability to tune into their intuition and their psychic side. The sixth sense is slightly more intense, and you can do more sort of telepathic work and stuff like that. So you can still do remote viewing as a psychic, but as a medium, if you were doing platform mediumship, or even in readings, because obviously they all comes in when you're doing readings, if you can mix with both, you will get all that sort of coming in. And to be honest, if you're starting out as one, it can get a little bit overwhelming and confusing, even for us, because it's a bit like, whoa, what's all this? So you've got to try and decipher it and work out why you're getting it. I didn't know it was called remote viewing. I just thought, that's weird, I can see that. I then found out it's called remote viewing because obviously I did my psychic diploma and I just wanted to know why they had names for things. So it is a form of psychic and mediumship.
I heard that they do remote viewing in the army or something, like years ago.
Yeah.
To try and work out, like, the psychic, whoever would
the army,
use remote viewing to know where bombs were going to go off.
Yeah, and they
like
also used to do it against their enemies, and that's why it sat more then in the psychic side and used in the sixth sense, because they used to bring people in that could use their sixth sense, their ESP, to tune in and actually find where their enemies were hiding and plans and all stuff like that. So it did originate in the psychic ability side, but not all psychics can do it because it's when they're at their highest level of their sixth sense, and not everyone can use their sixth sense.
Yeah, and you could practice with people as well. Like you could have someone that you've never been in their house before, and then you can try to tell them, okay, it looks like this, and then the room upstairs is like this, and just go around their house. And that's a good way of practicing remote.
If I
Oh, right. Okay, then.
See,
so Richard uses remote viewing to find hot
crumpets.
So what he's trying to say really is he goes to Sainsbury's to find a bit of crumpet.
It has to be hot.
But Pamela's I was asking if you had done it when you were in that person's house. I'm not sure what house. Is she asking a previous question or in that person's house?
I think we're talking about the previous question. I think the lady that saw her nan, maybe.
I don't know if she's doing that because it sounds off. Hi Gary. I think she's asking something else. Pamela, can you explain that a bit more, because we've stumped us psychic mediums.
Here we go. She is going through a lot. So this is Sharon's sister, is going through a lot, and she's been doing guided counselling. We talk all the time, and she says that she has visualised me as her nurturing guide or force, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that your nan is connecting you two and keeping you two together and safe, and that you've got that strong link, and that's why you had that loving environment and that sense of warmth. And I did pick you a card. I got you light, which is warmth, and sun. It's not sunshine because it's actually connecting to your spiritual power. So to me, that's very apt. I think your nan's trying to keep that light burning, shining for you, to help your sister and let you know that she's there also doing what she can in the other world. Oh my God, she's literally just had to say hi, my sister. That is love. Yeah. And there's my remote viewing, people, because I just felt straight away that she really did you needed to talk to her or just check in on her. Yeah. So there you go. See, I told you I'm very random. Very random.
Okay, so we're just going to tell you all what is going on tonight. So we've got the VIP night, which is going to be chat, support, and much more. Readings tonight from 8 p.m.
Oh, fledglings evening tonight.
And is that the VIP night? Is that what that is? Okay.
So anyone can join in, and the fledglings do their bits. Is that what it is? Okay, I might try that. Sorry.
Yeah, so fledglings tonight from 8 p.m. So that will be really good practice. Jane's getting in trouble from this.
Sorry.
Okay, so we've got a little comment. Say that again. Okay, great. So tomorrow night from 8 p.m, Matt and Kirsty for some live mediumship and oracle card readings.
Love Matt and Kirsty. Oh, yeah.
What's that?
There's a show called Around the Table on, can you just remind me of the date again, please? 19th of February. It is a interactive again, show where there's going to be some mediums on here, mediums and readers, and we can just chat. We can chat about anything, debate, we can talk about all sorts of different subjects. So if you are interested in joining us on the 19th, please put it in your diary now.
Amazing. So what about at home then that actually want to have a dream about something? How can they do that? If they really, really want to dream about something or have these visions, what can they do to let that happen? Do you have to do a little meditation before you sleep and say, let me dream about this? Or what can they do?
Just quickly, have you ever had one of those dreams where like it's such an awesome dream and then you wake up because you need a wee or something and you just want to go back and have that dream?
Get back
and you can't.
And I've done it. No, I've done it. I've got back into my dream.
So apparently that is a vision, not a dream, because if you don't remember it, dreams we're not meant to remember, visions we are, apparently, because I did some work with someone that used to do soul realignment, because I got told I'm a dream master and I actually travel into dreams and stop people or talk to people to stop them doing stuff or whatever, or interact with them in their dream to stop them doing something. That sort of makes sense to me because I do like a chat.
Yeah, but I get that, but I don't think mine have, because I remember all of my dreams, and I honestly can say that a lot of those are not visitations, they're just messed up.
Yeah, but maybe they're not visitations, they're psychic stuff that you've got to piece together it may be relevant to a client you get that day or the day before or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I've never really studied dreams properly, but it was quite fascinating on the soul realignment to work out what the difference is, which is why I said name the show dreams or visions, because is there a difference?
Yeah. Cheryl is saying, I keep getting hippos and horses in my dreams and meditations. Any idea what it can mean?
Horses are really powerful to dream
really
about.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah. They're talking about power, they're talking about going forward. If you think about a horse, it's like a mode of transport, even though it's an animal. So it's all about going forward. So it depends on we'd have to know more about what was going on with the horse, really, whether you were galloping forward in something, whether you were sort of jumping on fearlessly to battle, whatever it was, because that would very much that would give us more information about what was going on. Hippos, however, to dream.
Maybe have a look at what horse spirit guide means as well, because it could be that the horse is coming in to help you.
I haven't got hippos. You could probably Google that though, Cheryl.
If you dream about a hippopotamus, it can reflect your hidden strength and aggressive nature when you are cornered. These dreams may indicate that you or someone you know is being territorial about an issue or a person. Sometimes dreams about hippos can represent our inner worries about fertility and childbirth.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because it says if you dream of riding a horse, that is about disagreements, dishonesty, and arguments, and a prediction of control or danger. So that then means there could be something around you that's I think
it really depends. I think it would depend on the sort of horse. I mean, if it was like a Shetland pony or a Shire horse, it's going to be probably a very different meaning.
That's what I'd probably get, a donkey.
An ass.
Right, Pamela, have you ever had a dream where you are searching for a toilet but you wake up or you wet yourself? I get loads of dreams searching for well, I can't believe I'm going to say this on the live.
No, I've had.
Well, I haven't dreamt about a toilet, but I have wet myself.
No, I was younger and I was a child. I'm possibly drunk. No, I'm joking and I'm not.
Yeah, I think I'm alcohol.
But no, mine was when I was a child and I actually dreamt that I was going to the toilet, and I clearly was in real life as well. But bear in mind, I was about 6 at the time. I can let myself get away with that one.
Richard, is the sofa watch on Wednesday? Yes, it is, I believe. Hopefully.
Okay. Do you want me in, or are you doing that on your own?
Okay. Amazing. Well.
Oh yeah, they can't hear it. So Yeah, we're just chatting amongst ourselves, people. We're not
Yeah.
really. The last sofa watch is on Wednesday. I will go back in on Wednesday and sit on the sofa that obviously attracts more orbs. And I'm only joking, people. And if anyone else wants to sit on the other one, because it would be socially distanced and it is business, remember that, people. They are welcome, which means Polly or Leah, because actually they're the only two that lives in Portsmouth with me.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have clients, so not unfortunately, it's fortunate that I have clients, but unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to because I do have clients that day. I'm a busy gal.
You are. Okay. Well, is that us? I think we have.
It is.
Time.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's gone so quickly. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We had a really good time. I love this subject.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like so big, isn't it? It's such a big subject. I love it. And then we go off in our usual little, different directions. And so, yeah, it's always good to talk about. Absolutely lovely to work with you guys again. And everyone at home.
We all want you on the sofa.
They want you on the
sofa.
sofa. Oh, thanks, Alison. I really appreciate that, Alison.
when we have new sofas, we will and a new place or whatever happens in the future, we will sort it. We'll do whatever you like, just for a change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're back to normal.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us. And we will be back not next Sunday, but the Sunday after at the new time of 2 p.m. So half an hour earlier.
Remember that, Mr. Producer.
If Richard remembers.
Remember, as always, if there's any topics that you want us to cover, then just put them in the comments and we will have a look through later. Alison saying, fantastic show. Thank you all.
Thank you, Alison.
Cheryl, thank you, ladies, and everyone in the chat. Take care, everyone.
Oh, lovely to see you all.
You too.
Christine, want you too, Jane.
Oh, Jane, I'd give you a kiss, Jane, but obviously I can't,
Give her a virtual one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
right.
sloppy.
See you all in 2 weeks.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.